In Balijuri, a small settlement on the edge of Assam's Kaziranga landscape, there was a time when elephants moved as they wished, unhurried, undisturbed. Their paths were as old as memory, and the forests knew the weight of their footsteps. But over time, that rhythm changed. "58-year-old Muhammad Hiroz Bhuya witnessed that changed firsthand. A school teacher, he recalls how, over the years, human-elephant conflict became all too common, and how suddenly their homes and lands came to be under attack.
আগতে মানে সংঘাত আছিল বুলি ক'লে হয় হাতী বুলি ক'লে সংঘাত আৰু সেইটো সময়ত হাতী বুলি ক'লে ধৰ আপোনাৰ জুই চাই একো না মানে ঘৰ দুৱাৰ ভঙা ভৰাল ভঙা পাকঘৰ ভঙাৰ পৰা ধৰি মোৰ নিজৰো এইটো ঘৰ ভাঙিছে আমাৰ হাতীয়ে ভাঙা মানে তেতিয়া আপোনাৰ চাউল আছিল ইয়াত
৩৩,০০০ ভল্টৰ যি ৱেৰ আছে চেকিং টাৰ হৈ আছে আজি প্ৰায় সম্পূৰ্ণভাৱে এটা চেকিং টাৰ হৈ থকাৰ ফলতে হাতীখিনি মৃত্যুৰ মুখত ঠেলি দিয়া হয় মই ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ
Between the years 2000 and 2023, Assam lost more than 1,200 elephants. More than half of them died due to human-related causes, electrocution, poisoning, speeding trains, or retaliation. Centuries of shared history couldn't prevent these conflicts.
We have not understood that the elephants also have a memory. They also believe that they lived here and this was their territory. So how can you avoid the conflict?
Dr. Sheila Bora, historian, conservationist, and community worker, has spent decades observing these shifts. She reminds us that what had changed was not human or elephant behavior, but in fact the landscape.
There has been a very haphazard mode of development. People are cultivating, plantations are going into forest areas, mining is being allowed in forest areas, deforestation is taking place, railway tracks are passing through habitats. All sorts of things are happening, you know. So naturally, where will they go? Because there's a shortage of food, obviously. When they're trying to food, they stray into human habitats. It's not that they come to harm humans.
As natural feeding grounds began shrinking, so did the balance that ensured peaceful human-elephant coexistence. At the heart of this crisis was something incredibly simple: access to food. Experts have repeatedly pointed out that if elephants could find enough to eat within their own landscapes, conflict would drop almost immediately.
As long as it gets some food, it will move out.
We are in Assam's Nagaon district, part of the Hathi-Kholi corridor that connects elephant habitats in the region. Here, a very different story is unfolding. Through an initiative that does not fight elephants, but feeds them within their natural habitat. Hathi Bandhu, translating as friend of the elephant, is built on a simple idea: elephants must find food where they belong, not where humans grow it. According to its 91-year-old founder, Pradeep Kumar Bhuya, it is the general crisis of food for humans as well as animals that has led to increasing conflicts that peak during the months of rice harvest, when elephants are drawn to ripening paddy.
In the old days, you know, there was plentiful things, and elephants also had a lot of things to eat. They used to come to eat paddy, but people will welcome them. They will eat something and go back. But nowadays, shortage of food for even humans, this becomes a conflict. But then when the British came 200 years back, they started cutting the jungle. to make plantation, tea plantation. And it is when the decline of elephants started. From that large, say 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh elephants, today Assam has only less than 6,000 elephants, less than 6,000. So these Asian elephants are, at least in this region, they are in mortal peril. There is an existential crisis for them.
In 2019, Hathi Bandhu tried something unprecedented. They asked villagers to voluntarily grow crops specifically for elephants. The first trial took place in a village called Rongang.
We went and told them, will you give your land for one crop of rice for the elephants? And they were mad at us. They thought we were mad, and they more or less chased us out because elephants were enemy for them. Then but we persisted. After 2 months or so, and 3-4, and at least 20-25 meetings, the women folk agreed that okay, we'll try it once, and that is how it started. We planted rice in 2019 in that place, and elephants didn't trouble us.
For the last 6 years, farmers across villages have been creating what are called buffer zones, patches of their land offered to grow paddy, napier grass, and fruits as food for wild elephants. Once the crop is ready, a puja is performed to invite them. They come, eat, and leave in batches, without panic, any chasing, or need for retaliation. Consequently, farmers have now been able to harvest their entire crop without any fear or losses.
সেইটো হল আমি আগতে বুজি পোৱা নাছিলো হাতীৰ মৰম বুলা বস্তু আগতে মানুহৰ সংঘাত কাৰণ কিয় খেতিখিনি আমি চপাব পৰা নাই কাৰণ আমি লঘুনৰ অৱস্থাতে আছো হেতু কাৰণে হাতী পুতি মানে বেয়াকৈ আমাৰ চকু দৃষ্টিৰে চাব লগা হৈছে আৰু
Saraswati Teromti belongs to Rongang village. For decades, she fought off elephant raids on her paddy fields. A few years ago, she decided to donate 52 hectares of her land to Hathi Bandhu to grow crops for elephants.
Baido, Kardom.
In 2024, when Saraswati was rewarded with the bumper crop, her own share of the harvest was left untouched by the pachyderms.
যেহেতু ইয়াত এতিয়া হাতীৰ বন্ধু অহাৰ পৰাহে আমি সেই মৰমটো বুজি পালো আৰু হাতীৰ কাৰণে যেতিয়া আমি মৰম কৰো হাতী আমাক বুজি পাব কিন্তু হেতু হল নিজৰ আত্মবিশ্বাসৰ ওপৰত কথা
At the moment, I must say, they are in the right direction because they have taken full help of community. They have created the buffer zone where elephants come and eat and don't destroy their crops, right? And this is being truly done because I have what? I don't know how the elephants do not cross the buffer zone. It is amazing how they understand that this is the zone and we can't cross this, but they don't cross it.
Pradeep tells us that there is no longer any conflict across the districts of Nagaon and Gholaghat, sparing close to 200 villages from elephant crossovers.
The villagers have become now the friends of elephants, but even then they need sustenance. They have to eat. So when they plant the rice or they work in a plantation, we pay them, like normal thing. But for the rice plantation, also we give them a compensation we can call of rice, about 1600 kg of rice per bigha of land. That is 1 bigha is about 18,000 square feet.
Over time, the community's relationship with elephants has transformed, and villagers now articulate that shift clearly. After each harvest, team members from Hathi Bandhu visit them to understand how the season went.
বাকী এনে কোৱাচোন তোমাৰ প্ৰভিজন কি আছে ভৱিষ্যতলৈ
মানে কি হাতীখিনিও সুৰক্ষিত হৈ থাকক মানুহখিনিও সুৰক্ষিত হৈ থাকক কাৰণ এইখিনি দুখীয়া কৃষক শ্ৰেণীৰ ৰাইজ না
তাকেতো
বছৰটো ধানকেইটাতো লাগিবই
সেইটোৱেইটো
আৰু গোটেই বছৰটো খায় আৰু বেয়া লাগিব দিয়কচোন যেতিয়া হাতীখিনিয়ে খাব তেতিয়া হাতীৰ প্ৰতি এটা বেয়া মনোভাৱ এটা সৃষ্টি হয়
নিশ্চয়
কিন্তু এইটোৱে আমাৰ প্ৰচেষ্টা যে হাতীক যদি আমি মৰম কৰোঁ তাৰ প্ৰত্যুত্তৰ কিন্তু হাতীয়ে মৰমেৰে দি আছে এতিয়া আপোনালোকৰ যিটো সহযোগ
নিশ্চয়
We were talking about so long about wild elephants, but there are domestic elephants also in Assam. And what happens when the elephant becomes about say 60 years or so old, it cannot provide economic benefit to the owner. So what we are doing is to bring those elephants to one of our rehabilitation center and just keep them well, feed them well, look after them, their medical requirements. Those things we are doing.
What began with a single experiment on 70 acres of land has grown to approximately 700 acres across Assam's districts.
That area has about 30 or 40 resident elephants. They eat year-round in that plantation. And during the paddy season, another 250-300 elephants come. They eat in the plantation and then eat the rice. About 1 month or 1.5 months, they have a very good time there, and then they go back.
Even as Assam's food zones flourish, habitat loss for these animals remains a systemic challenge. Dr. Bora points out, a challenge that, if continued to go unaddressed, is likely to create irreversible damage to this keystone species and its ecosystem.
If you think of the elephant's migratory route, right from the Himalayas, say you take the evergreen forest, they'll come down from the Himalayas right down to the Malayan Peninsula, right? If you think of creating food zones like this all through the migratory route, you can imagine the number of food zones that we will require, right? Huge amount. This is only one place. You will need a huge number of food zones.
Coexistence requires collective will, community, effort, and long-term policy support. But what Hathi Bandhu demonstrates is that when people take ownership, harmony is possible. In a world where human-animal conflict is rising, this story offers a rare lesson that peace is practical, achievable, and deeply rooted in the land.
Thanks for watching Eco India. If you like the story, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Scroll.in on YouTube.